What's good, honeys? It's your girl Sunny Lele, and I'm back today with another video. Today I'm going to be doing this super cute low tension protective lock hairstyle. Instead of doing a regular old 2 braid, I did a double braid and it came out so cute. Best part is it's short, medium, and long lock friendly. Let's get into it. I'm super excited about this hairstyle, honey. This is going to be a super detailed tutorial, so stay tuned. I retwisted my hair about 3 weeks prior to this, and I feel like it's still so neat because it was previously in a hairstyle. Here is a few products that you'll need for this hairstyle. Okay, I know y'all could tell, like, I'm kind of excited, like, on my face. I don't know if you can tell, but I can tell I was, like, being real fidgety. Look how this hair meshes so well with my locks. I was able to find this hair at the beauty supply. It is some crochet faux locks, and all I'm going to do is feed that into my actual locks so that we can achieve this gorgeous hairstyle. So let's get into it. I'm separating my baby hairs, of course, because I find that it makes a neater hairstyle and it just keeps the frizz away from the top of your head. And I do douse my baby hairs in water before brushing them down. I don't know, I feel like it adds a layer of protection in a way. First things first, I wanted this style to be a cute middle part, so I'm going straight down the middle, or as straight down the middle as I could, you know. For this to be a low tension hairstyle, we're going to section it off into 4 parts, and then we're going to loosely put into the 4 parts each section. So let's get into it. I started with the back 2 sections just because the way we're going to do the front is a certain way. Of course, you want to brush the lint out of your hair for any hairstyle. Now moving into the front 2 sections, we want to make this as straight as possible, and what I mean is we want to make it as flat as possible, as straight as possible, so that against the baby hairs it's straight and we're not just straight pulling it back into the section, because it would look like this and it's not appealing. So we're going to do this, and we're going to bring it up and under and connect it to the section in the back. So let's get into it. When bringing the locks down to make sure they're straight, I really don't want any parts to be shown, like in the front section. I don't know why, it just didn't give the look that I wanted it to give. So I just made sure that all the holes or little parts that were showing were covered up by the locks before I added it in. After doing so, this is what we're working with. And we're gonna go ahead and we're going to start feeding in our faux locks. So let's get into it. Oh my gosh. When feeding in these faux locks, I take the top part that is used for crochet and slide it onto my lock. Now right here, you're gonna see a few different ways that I'm doing it because it was really trial and error. This is the first time ever I'm doing this hairstyle and it came out so cute. I'm so excited to share this with you guys. So let's get into it. This one specifically was an error to me just simply because it didn't have as strong as a hold as I needed it to for the braids that I wanted to do. So we're going to do this over, okay? Placing the faux lock on my actual lock, I went ahead and put it about a half of the way up, and this is the new way we're trying. We're going to loop it about 2 times around the lock, bring it down as we twist, and as it gets tighter to the tightest point of the hole, we're going to pull that end section through the bottom of the hole. I even tried to do another one and see if it would be a stronger hole if I even wrapped it around the lock, but it didn't go as planned. So yeah, we're sticking with number 2. Now I can dive a bit more into detail about how I got this crochet onto my lock. From the first initial slide on, we're going to start from the middle, loop it around 1 time, and we're going to bring it down to a twist until it gets to the tightest point of the hole, and we're going to bring the bottom part through that hole and make that secure, connected, feed-in type lock. And again, I'm going to show you the details even closer. So we're starting from the middle part of our hair, looping around 2 times, bringing it down to a twist until the tightest part of the hole, and then we're going to bring the bottom part through it. And voila, this technique definitely gave it a super strong hold. Now I'm going to go through and complete the rest of these locks. I'm also going to be showing you how to safely remove them, so stay tuned. And a real treat for my visual learners, a slowed down, more direct visual. After getting it on the middle of our hair, we're going to loop it around, bring that twist downward. And when we get to the tightest part of that hole, we're going to bring the bottom part of our actual lock through that hole and secure it. Let's dive into the details a bit more. We're going to take that crochet part, open it as wide as possible, bring it to the middle part of our lock, and loop that around our lock. After doing so, we have a bit more open room down here, and you don't want your faux lock to fall off or slide off, so we're going to do the twists all the way down to the tightest point of the hole, and we're just going to bring that bottom part of our lock through that hole, and it is now secure. This is how full it looks after you completed one whole section. Now we're diving into the details of how to take this apart, and it's pretty easy. Of course, we're going to take that little bottom part out, unravel the twist, and unloop it from your lock. Simple, quick, easy. Now, you guys know I'm a base for my ponytail type of girl, so I went ahead and put away a section of hair. After securing my bases, I went ahead and finished up the other side. After both sides are complete, I now have 2 long, beautiful ponytails. Now let's get into styling them. Because I wanted to do the whole double braid type of look, I went ahead and sectioned off the hair into 2 different sections, and as small as I could get them and as even as I could get them. We're gonna move into braiding the actual hair. I did like an under braid. I just feel as though it's more secure when braiding. And we're gonna take this section of hair and braid it all the way down. As you're going down the braid, you're gonna wanna make sure that everything is tight. So as you can see, as I'm pulling the braid, I'm pulling the braid, like making it tighter. As you get further down, you'll feel that it's getting thicker because the pieces that you fed into your actual locks is coming into play. So we're just going to do as we were doing before, and we're going to make sure that it's as tight as it can be. Make sure there's no loose ends, and I will be telling you guys what to do with loose ends, so stay tuned. Now you can see it is getting a bit more difficult to braid because my hair is on the thicker side. What we're going to do for this is we're just going to make sure that all the lock strands are straight as possible when braiding, and while we're braiding, we're making sure that we're tightening as we're braiding. The further down the braid you go, you'll start to see the lock ends become more prominent, and this is where the tucking begins. You'll take the lock end, or the part that's poking out, and you'll put it underneath a longer lock before braiding. So right here I have a few lock ends that were out, and now I'm tucking them by braiding them underneath longer locks. While braiding and maneuvering your hair, you may have pieces to pop out. So we're gonna just take a tail comb and we're just gonna fix these up real quick. We're gonna utilize the tail part or the pick part or whatever you wanna call it to tuck in those ends. Just look at how much neater the braid looks like. Now we're moving into the next braid, so let's go. On the second braid, I did an over the hand braid, and I must say that it was more difficult to get it to be tighter and more in tune. But just do what is best and more comfortable for you. Just remember to tighten as you're braiding down, because you want this to be as flush as possible with your real locks, because it is a shinier material, but when you do it like this, it does give the flush type of braid. And as I'm going down, you can physically see the braid get tighter when I pull it, like it actually comes together. Now let's go ahead and finish up this braid. Remember to tuck any lock ends underneath longer locks while braiding, because we love a nice neat braid and lock ends would just ruin it, duh. Look how lovely these braids are coming out. I mean, like, they're a bit chunky because my hair is thick, but the look is the look, okay? And it's giving the look that I needed to give. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the other side. Now, you see how I said I was gonna stick with the under braid and I'm still doing the overhand braid? Like, what I said still stands about how secure it feels, but this one did come out super cute, super neat, and I love it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do overhand for the next one too. Again, for the lock ends that didn't tuck, we're gonna go ahead and use our tail comb and just tuck those into the braid. And boom, I love how these braids came out. I'm going to go back and braid down the braids a bit more just because I don't like the whole curly part at the bottom. Now moving into the base, I just took 2 locks for each braid, and each of the 2 locks will be wrapped around each braid. We're gonna secure it with a bobby pin. We're gonna want to do the same to the other braid, and then we'll have 2 locks left, and we'll wrap this around the entire base. Now, if I'm being completely honest, I did prefer it without the base, but I am a base girl, so we always gotta add a base, okay? Don't get on to me for these bases. I know they look crazy and they're not as straight as they usually be. Now, this is what we're working with. I went ahead and braided down the braids a bit further. Of course, I'm gonna go back and neaten up the style a bit, but this is what we're working with and I'm loving it. Time for edges. Before tying the style down, we're gonna go ahead and spray with some aloe water just to take away any frizz, and we're gonna tie it down with a silk scarf. And boom, I could just scream. Don't you just love when a hairstyle comes out how you want it to come out? I did film the outro a bit later than usual, so the hairstyle is slept on and it's still looking good, so I feel like I did a pretty good job. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel where we do all things locks. Also, leave a comment down below. I really want to know if you guys tried this hairstyle. Thank you so much to my honeys for tuning into this video. Till next time, toodles, honeys.